Welcome to Movie Recap! In today's video, we will be going through the 2003 romance comedy movie, Anything Else. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. Jerry Falk, a young aspiring writer from New York who aspires to publish a novel someday, spends many afternoons talking in the park with David Dobble, a struggling artist who functions as Jerry's tutor. Jerry and David initially met at an intellectual comedian's agency at business meeting with Jerry's longtime manager, Harvey, who was terrible at his job. Jerry and David become great friends after meeting since they're both aspiring comedy writers seeking to get into the profession. They begin to have lengthy discussions about life and work. Jerry admits that he has a hard time parting ways with people. He's still working with his inept manager despite his desire to fire him. David also recounts visiting a psychiatrist after becoming depressed when his girlfriend broke up with him. As they say their goodbyes, Jerry admits to having a girlfriend and talks at length about how lovely she is. They both promise to meet up again before saying their goodbyes. Then David recalls being in a cab years ago, and like Jerry, he was pouring his heart out about many deep philosophical topics. The cab driver responded to him, "You know, it's like anything else." This phrase stuck with David this whole time. Jerry narrates that David continues his day job as a public school teacher because he is too afraid of failing to write comedy full-time. Jerry meets with his girlfriend Amanda that night, who is late for their anniversary dinner. However, as soon as Amanda arrives, she complains about how horrible her audition went. Then she admits to already eating. They agree to return home after squabbling, and Jerry ends up eating a sandwich for supper. But that's not only the mishap. Amanda tells him that her mother is moving in with them after splitting up with her boyfriend. And his boss phones him unexpectedly to tell him that one of his clients doesn't like his work. Amanda drives him insane, yet he's madly in love with her. Jerry recalls the day he first fell in love with her. Jerry and his then girlfriend Brooke were out and about when they saw Jerry's buddy Bob and his girlfriend Amanda. Jerry is so smitten with Amanda that he constantly finds things that they share in common, things including books and plays, and Amanda being an actor. Jerry tries to keep his feelings for Amanda hidden from Brooke. However, the next day, he contacts Amanda and asks her to meet with him. It turns out that he's already waiting for her outside her house. They spend the time together. Amanda coerces Jerry into admitting that he has feelings for her. He succumbs to her wiles, no longer able to resist kissing her. Amanda confesses having a crush on him since they met. Now Jerry returns home that night to find Brooke waiting for him. He excuses his absence and attempts to establish an alibi. Brooke discovers the girl's hair on his coat, exposing his lie. Jerry contacts the psychiatrist the following days because he has difficulty leaving people. He can't tell Brooke he's no longer in love with her, and after working with him for 3 years, the doctor isn't much help. Jerry's secret affair with Amanda continues. They even sleep together in a hotel room. Jerry acknowledges that he has yet to figure out how he's going to tell Brooke gracefully. Amanda claims that she has already told Bob without mentioning Jerry specifically. Brooke eventually discovers that her boyfriend is cheating on her and dumps him. In the present, Amanda observes her lover is staring out into space. When confronted, Jerry responds that he remembers the first time they met and how they made love everywhere. The prospect excites him, and he begins to kissing her and caressing her. Amanda abruptly pulls away. Jerry is disappointed since they haven't had physical contact in 6 months. Amanda then urges him to sleep with other women if he does not tell her about it. Jerry thinks the notion is ludicrous and refuses to participate. Later that night after dinner, Jerry persuades Amanda to stay in a hotel instead of returning home. Amanda dislikes the concept but is compelled to accept it. Irritated that she's been forced to stay in a hotel room, she instigates petty arguments with him. He tries to lighten the mood, but Amanda suddenly has trouble breathing and experiences severe nausea. She demands to see a doctor. At the hospital, Jerry is envious of the doctor who enjoys examining his girlfriend and touching her chest. Amanda doesn't seem bothered by this either. Jerry then goes to the therapy, but his psychiatrist tells him that if he doesn't get rid of the gun, he won't be able to continue the analysis. Jerry bumps into his friend Bill outside of the restaurant where he's due to meet with his manager. When Bill learns this, he remarks that no one understands why Jerry does not fire Harvey because he is seen as a joke. Jerry says that he will consider it, Harvey hands Jerry a new contract when they meet because their existing one is set to expire. Harvey wishes to extend the contract of his soul client for 7 years rather than 3. Later that day, Jerry discusses it with David, who strongly encourages him not to sign the contract. Jerry feels terrible about firing Harvey since he knows that he needs the money. Jerry, anxious to change the subject, inquires about Amanda. When David responds plainly that Amanda is cheating on him, he is shocked. He knew that she was with someone else because of her eyes, not because he actually saw her with someone else. This is the final straw in convincing Jerry that David is a very disturbed individual. Despite this, Jerry's paranoia gets the best of him. After introducing an actress named Connie to Jerry at a party one night, Amanda leaves them to mingle with another guy. Jerry can't hear anything Connie says because he is preoccupied with staring at Amanda and her gentleman friend. When Jerry approaches the two, Amanda introduces Ray to him. She suggests that they drive at midnight to see the antique theater posters. Jerry declines since he has to work on his manuscript first thing in the morning, and Connie declines as well. When they go home, Amanda is unhappy, so Jerry asks if it's because she can't go for a drive with Ray. Amanda denies this, then accusing Jerry of having feelings for Connie. Now their fight jolts Paula away. She lets Jerry hear the ballad she has been playing on the piano. As Paula sings, the lover's mood is lifted by her lovely voice and the calming sound of the piano. The next day, while Jerry is working on his novel, Paula begins to play the piano. Jerry asks her to stop, so she does. Paula is worried, so she asks Jerry to grab the anxiety medication from the bathroom. When Jerry walks out, his face is pale, as if he has discovered a dreadful secret. Later, he talks about it with his psychiatrist, confessing that he couldn't resist the urge to open the case for a diaphragm, a type of birth control. It wasn't there, which confirms his suspicions. He finds the doctor to be unhelpful, so he seeks advice from David. He is encouraged to follow Amanda by the man. Jerry is initially apprehensive until David successfully persuades him. Jerry secretly observes Amanda and Ray wandering around outside the school. He feels he has finally caught her, but waits until she's about to leave that night to gather further evidence. To his amazement, she isn't cheating with Ray, but her instructor, whom he witnesses her kiss before she leaves. When Jerry goes home, he confronts Amanda about her teacher and the diaphragm case. At first, Amanda denies everything, but eventually admits to sleeping with her teacher. She adds that she still loves Jerry, but wants to find out if she can still be thrilled and passionate about lovemaking, and she can. Amanda says that she was concerned that there was something wrong with her since he couldn't get excited about Jerry. She convinces him that she did it for both of them and begs Jerry not to leave her. Jerry chats with David the next day, who says that he doesn't trust Amanda. David advises him to get rid of individuals taking advantage of him, such as Amanda and Harvey. He informs him that there is nothing wrong with being afraid and that it is natural for people to feel afraid, and Jerry is terrified of being alone. A short while later, while driving, David informs him about a career opportunity in California to write for comedy programs on television. He encourages Jerry to join him. Jerry, on the other hand, is thinking about Amanda. Then, just as David is ready to park, another automobile pulls up into the parking space. David retaliates, but the two muscled men are too large for him, so he drives away unhappily. Jerry nags David for standing up to those thugs. He points out that it might have placed their lives in danger, but David immediately turns the car around and returns to the parking lot. He grabs a tool from the back seat, walks up to the parked car, smashes the windows, and drives away quickly before the owners notice. That night, while working on his novel, Jerry recounts that while he is sure that David is a raving lunatic, he admires him because he did not accept the injustice done to him. He recognizes that there will always be people who resist, unlike him. Leaving Amanda and starting over in California, on the other hand, is both tempting and exhilarating. But he's scared. He recalls the time that Amanda proposed a break from their relationship. Jerry tried to offer a compromise, but she had already decided to leave. During their time apart, Jerry dated another girl, but all he could think of was Amanda, whom he imagined being with during his dates. Then a few weeks later, just as suddenly as she moved out, Amanda returned as if nothing had happened. Amanda says that she's back because even though she's making love with another man, all she thinks about is Jerry. Well, Jerry gives in, and they make love that night. His memories of the past are interrupted by Paula, who arrives with her boyfriend, Rolf. Amanda scolds her mother for being so noisy when she knows that she can't sleep. Later, when they're in bed, Amanda denies having feelings for her mother's lover. Cherry doesn't believe this because she seems to know too much about Rolf. Cherry justifies Amanda's actions the next day while speaking with David, blaming herself for being rigid and disciplined. When David finds Cherry holding his signed contract extension with Harvey, he snatches it, rips it up, and tells Cherry that he will no longer be working with Harvey. Later, Cherry and Harvey meet in a restaurant. While David keeps an eye on them without Harvey's knowledge, Cherry tries to break the news to his manager gently that he will not be renewing his contract. On the other hand, Harvey overreacts, raising a commotion until he passes out. Cherry becomes frantic and blames himself for listening to David. Cherry goes for a walk around town to gather his thoughts before heading home. Amanda arrives at home with Connie, who helps her prepare dinner. Cherry enjoys dining with them, but when he's alone in the kitchen with Connie, he feels compelled to touch her. He believes that it is time to pack his things and go to California with David. Cherry visits a psychiatrist for one last time, seeking advice on the situation. The psychiatrist is useless again, simply directing the questions back onto Cherry. David is thrilled when he learns of Cherry's choice and promptly resigns from his teaching position. Finally, he speaks with Amanda. Amanda admits to him that she has met someone who wishes to move out before he can tell her the news. Cherry is caught off guard, and while she admits to having an affair once before he dismissed it, he eventually informs Amanda that he'll be relocating to California for a new career, and Amanda is happy for him. Later that day, David meets with Cherry to inform him that he will be unable to travel to California. Cherry is astonished by the abrupt change of plans. In a shocking turn of events, David admits that a heated argument he had the night before led him to shoot the person. In the end, Cherry and his belongings depart for California without David. While he's in the cab, he sees Amanda with the same doctor who treated her at the hospital. It seems like his instincts about the nature of their relationship was right after all. His deep thoughts are interrupted by the cab driver, who asks what happened to him. Cherry replies that he is thinking about how bizarre life is and how it's full of incomprehensible mysteries. Well, you know, it's like anything else. The cab driver responds. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new movie recaps.